All right, everyone, this is the American Werewolf, and I just got back from seeing Alex Garland's Civil War. Now, if you're like me, you've been a fan of Alex Garland since 28 Days Later, and then The Beach, and Ex Machina, and Annihilation. You were probably like, okay. But when I heard that he was doing the Civil War movie, I was intrigued and a little skeptical because, let's face it, there's been political violence going on in this country for a number of years now. And the idea that a civil war might kick off is not outside the realm of possibility, although I certainly hope and pray that that's not the case. So when someone is going to make a movie like this, you expect a lot of finger pointing. It's this party or that party or this person is a caricature of, this guy, and, this is a caricature of this woman, and this group over here, I know exactly who they are. It's so obvious. And, that could lead to a lot of eye rolling. And what I thought was really the strength of this movie was that they didn't do that. I'll give a few plot points, not to, give anything away, but essentially what happens is we have a president who has decided to grant himself a third term. And so I guess under what you could consider, intense political pressure from what's going on in the country, certain states decide to secede, and not just secede, but to overthrow the current government. So you have states basically along the coastlines either are working in tandem or just doing their own thing, while the rest of the country in the middle is just kind of trying to hang on. And I thought that was interesting because there is no obvious, this is the Republican Party, this is the, the Democrat Party, these are the, the progressives or anything like that. It never really gets deeply into that at all. And I thought that, wow, okay, this is kind of an honest look perhaps of what a civil war might look like. Maybe small towns that are, just kind of holding it together on their own. They're kind of cut off from everybody else. Maybe you've got some people over here that are super isolated and just going rogue here and there. And, it's like a mishmash of like everything. And then in the middle of that, you've got various military forces going up against, I guess, civilian militias or whomever. As someone in the film states, somebody's trying to shoot me, I'm trying to shoot them. And the vagueness of that was, I thought, something that really made the film far more enjoyable and far more frightening, actually, because, like I said, it removed the eye rolling. Now, if you're a fan of tribalism and you need to see, this political person in this character, or this political person in that character, or, this group of people representing this, you're probably not going to like it. They're not finger pointing enough, and, these people are wrong, and that, they didn't do any of that. And I really, really thought that was great. Now, the story basically revolves around a group of journalists led by Kirsten Dunst as they attempt to make their way from New York through sort of the back roads because the main arteries are too dangerous or have just been, demolished, to Washington, D.C. to interview the president, who's sort of in a bunker or a siege mentality. And the various things that they see as they head down south, which are just awful. Kirsten Dunst, I've been a fan of since Interview with the Vampire. I thought she did a really good job as a sort of war-torn, jaded war photographer, war photojournalist, that kind of thing. It wasn't, this, oh my God, only Kirsten Dunst could have done this kind of performance, but she did what she was supposed to do, and I have no complaints about her. There were some other characters in this. Wagner Moura as this guy I'd never seen. He sort of looks familiar, but I don't remember where I've seen Wagner Moura from before. as one of the guys in the SUV that they're all driving in. And then I saw this Kaylee Spaney. Oh my goodness, as this, sort of fresh-faced person who's attempting to have her first experience as a war journalist here in the United States. She's an American and is just not prepared for the things she's about to undergo. And then you had Stephen McKinney, who I love very much, and I've seen him in so many things, most notably in the first Dune, part 1, part 2. I saw him in Beau is Afraid, and he's just a fantastic actor. And he was also rounding out the 4 that are in the SUV taking the trip. Now, this movie was made, I think, for about $50 million, so it's not a huge budget for Hollywood. But automatically, I think to this point right now, and I'm looking at the numbers, it looks like it's made about $10 million. So I'm not exactly sure what the reviews are at this point, because if you're, like I said, if you're this newspaper that's a fan of this tribe, or if you're that news outlet who's a fan of that tribe, or if you're a YouTuber who's a fan of these politics over here, you're a red pill guy, or you're this politics person over here, you're more the blue-haired progressive persuasion, with the boundless amounts of empathy, it can be dissatisfying not to be able, for once, over the course of 2 hours, you are unable to point the finger at anyone. But that's not true, because you are able to point the finger. There are lots of fucked up things that are going on. It's the fact that you may not be able to put them in the stable that you're typically used to. I thought it was a very strong movie. It's a little frightening, especially in an election year. This particular election, we have wars going on all over the world, in Israel and Gaza and Ukraine, the thing going on in Haiti, the violence that's going on in our cities here. It looked like what might be, it looked like it might be accurate in terms of what a civil war would look like playing out in the United States, because it's no longer a North and South thing. Everybody's sort of interwoven together. So it's not like, the Battle Army of Virginia, Virginia versus, the 15th regulars from Pennsylvania. It's not like that anymore. Everybody's sort of intertwined now. And that makes it far more alarming. I thought it had some solid action scenes when we started to get to the war fighting. Again, you're not exactly sure who everybody is. It's not defined. It's just one group is shooting at another group. The other group is shooting back. And at one point, they actually explain that. Because this guy's trying to figure out, well, who are you guys with? He's like, what do you mean, who are we with? These people are trying to shoot us. We're trying to shoot them. I can't enjoy that enough. So for me, I would absolutely recommend it. Leave your tribal hat at home and enjoy it. For me, the American Werewolf system has a rating system that goes from 0 to 5 up by halves. I'm going to go with 4.5. I can't think of too much to complain about. Solid performances, solid action, and an honest story. I didn't like Alex Garland's last effort. I think it was Men, which was this really weird movie. And the message seemed to be that, no matter, who the man is, they're basically all the same. And I think actually the men were all the different men, all the different male characters in the movie were played by the same actor. And I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? So, like I said, I was preparing to roll my eyes, and instead I found myself riveted to the screen. Okay, that's my video. From 0 to 5, I'm going with 4.5. The only reason I'm not going with 5, I don't know that it quite makes it into cinema, but it's right there on the cusp. And maybe I won't get into that. But I'm going to go with 4.5 out of 5. That's my video. Like this video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Are you going to go see it? Are you going to avoid it like the plague? You're like, no, that's too much for me. Did you not like it? Did you need to see some finger pointing? Let me know what you think. Subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in the next video. All right, take care, everyone. God bless you. Have a great weekend.